So the first one of the day is Brenda. And, you know, I could talk about Brenda for a very, very long time because I was vice chair of the stewardship at one time before I was in this position. I am a staunch believer of the Christina Lake Stewardship. They have done fantastic work, and you can see by who's in this room today that they are supported by just about every type of government out there, along with almost every group that I sit on, which is a heck of a lot of them. There's a lot of overlap here with the Kettle River also, and Brenda's been very active with working with Graham and myself on the Kettle River study as well. So I could talk and talk, like I say, about Brenda, but she is going to talk to you, and that's when you'll really find out who Brenda LaCroix is. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Brenda LaCroix.
Stand over here so you can look at the beautiful pictures. Welcome, and it's great seeing a lot of new faces here as well today. So this is, the watershed plan was completed in 2005, so we've been meeting for quite a few years now. And there's a lot of people in this room that met for 2 years prior to that to get the watershed management plan together. First, I want to bring you back to a watershed moment of why we're doing what we're doing in our watershed. And some of these slides are actually what we use on our educational cruise that we try to do once a year. But we make a game of it, make people guess, but you'll have the answers here for you. This is our watershed. It's 519 square kilometers. It is a part of the Kettle River Watershed Group. We're a sub-basin of it. Our outflow is Christina Creek. We have 42 main tributaries. I won't get into the forest type. Most of you know we're in the Kootenai mix besides the Ponderosa pine. And the most significant feature, geologic feature we have is we have a fault line that runs directly down the middle of Christina Lake, trending north to south. And this is, in theory, why they think the lake is so warm is because of the hot springs that are vented out of the fault line. Okay. This is the newest bathymetric map that the regional district mapping helped us put together. And the dark blue is the deepest part of the lake, which is 54 meters, 775 feet. And Christina Lake is 18.7 kilometers long. It's 600 meters wide. Average water temperature in summer is 25 Celsius, in August at 77 Fahrenheit. That's warm. The bottom layer is always basically greater than 20 meters at 6 Celsius or 43 Fahrenheit. We're a nutrient-poor lake. But the south end, Mike will talk more about that, with all the plants, is almost going eutrophic. So, next. Oh, it's not flush. Oh, it's not. Oh, sorry. It's okay, it's supposed to be quite flushing. So just, yeah. Anyway, the flushing rate of the lake is 4.5 years, which is a short time period. Okanagan is what, 80? Yeah. Okay. Some of our fish species in the lake and why we do some protection work on the lake is we have a lot of them. But as you can see, we have 19 confirmed species. Of those confirmed species, 13 are introduced. 3 were government stocked, so we had native rainbow, the native kokanee, then they stocked kokanee, rainbow, and bass, which is large enough. We have 14 unconfirmed fish in the watershed, and they do occur in the Kettle River, so they more than likely are in the lake, but it's never been confirmed. So we have a total of 33 fish species, and stocking occurred from 1901 to 1963. We have a lot of critters. Very abundant. Just in District Lot 498, for those of you that don't know that district, the nature park, it spans up to the Christina Creek Oxbow, going down Swanson Road, so it's a very large lot which has been subdivided. So just in that part alone, the Conservation Data Center, along with Ron Walker, myself, Leah Ramsey, and a few other volunteers, did an inventory of the wildlife species within that lot. There are 72 common breeding birds, 33 migratory birds, 40 non-breeding visiting birds, 6 reptiles, 10 amphibians, and that's approximate, and 39 mammals. That's huge. We have a really good biodiversity with wildlife here. Okay. Now we're getting into our stuff. And a lot of you guys have seen this, but for the new people here, we have to go through it just so you're up to date on the watershed plan. We are a nonprofit organization, and We have long-term partnerships like Grace mentioned. We do the annual watershed review to help give us direction on what way we go from year to year. And we have dedicated directors, members, volunteers, business, staff, and professionals. And we get most of our funding from grant writing, and we have all level of government participating with our plan. Our staff this year was Heather Lane, myself, I'm part-time permanent. We had a student, Jill B's in a row, thank you. I will say B's in a row. And so these were all grants that were written in the new year. Other staff, we had a master's student, Georgina White, come from London in the UK. And we also had part-time Kristen Small, who helped us with our aquatic invasive species program out of the Boundary Invasive Species Society. Our plan, this is the issues. These are all large issues and there's subcategories under each one. Water quality, and Graham's going to say, geez, these look so familiar. But non-native invasive species, fishery sustainability, forestry practices, wildlife values, shoreline and stream bank modifications, including riparian areas. Each one of these has dozens of subcategories to fit in with our plan. We broke it all down just so we could manage it into three major categories. One is core, which is our primary operations. The other is public education and community involvement. And our third is monitoring programs and field projects, which includes all our fish and wildlife data collecting. And I'm sorry, there's short and long term. There's stuff that's feasible, we can do from year to year. There's some things that we have had to work on over a longer term to try to make it, get the money together to do it. They're huge projects. Core funding for the Community Stewardship Resource Center, the one permanent part-time staff and all our costs has been secured for 2014. And as I mentioned earlier, I'll be writing grants during the winter for our students and all our other programs. We would like to see an environmental trust like CBT set up for the Boundary region only for environmental NGOs. Stressing that. Yes. We provide a lot of services for our community. Hopefully most of you have been to our new location and seen our interpretive gallery and office and our interactive video display. It offers public access to everything, and you can ask us any questions. If we can't answer them, we'll try to find out. It houses reports, maps, data, best management practices, a resource library, public education, and you're dealing with local knowledge and experience with professional field staff and community participation. Okay. Getting the information out there. That's our interactive video display, and it runs, we almost have it at 6 hours. We're trying to actually be able to run it, that it simultaneously goes over different things, but we're not quite there yet. We work with other NGOs, we put lots of things on that screen for information. We work with other groups, and I forgot to mention Jenny's Boundary Habitat Stewards. Sorry, Jenny, we're all part of that too. And our office and interpretive gallery is a public venue open to all to come in and check it out. We bring the outdoors to you. We have an awesome underwater camera now, and you'll see some of that footage at lunchtime for entertainment. And we also put out critter cams, and it'll be going in the wetlands so you can see the baby otters and the carp and the wildlife where you can't go unless you've got hip waders. The interpretive video is constantly evolving. So if anybody has any wildlife pictures or footage, please send it to us and we will credit you for that information. And we're trying to get the interpretive gallery a science and nature feel to it. We have new species at risk display, a new invasive species display, and we'd like to bring in a First Nations component at some point. We do Wild Safe BC, and this deals with not just the bears, this deals with all critters that we could possibly run into, such as cougar, deer, raccoons, and other animals that we may come in contact with, and how we can live harmoniously with them. Dave, is that how we say that?
That's the idea.
Okay, that's the idea. Okay.
I'm gonna just pause you for a minute. I didn't hear that.
Oh, the wolf can howl.
Well, it's because we don't have the line yet, right?
Oh, I see. It's a wolf howling on this one.
Let's try this again. Okay, so be it.
Oh, well. If it works in the next one.
Maybe someone in here could howl.
I was just gonna.
Yeah, I
Okay.
Okay, you might have to click on that, the video box in the middle. This is the grizzly bear up at Nancy Green. Cher's bear. Cher's bear. We do bear aware big time, and you'll see grizzly and black bear back here, and we've got some handouts and magnets. We've been very active in it. We've gone to basically everybody's house. That was 2 years ago. We don't do it every year because then you're going to start, kicking us off your property. But we hand out cards and teach people about how to be bear aware and not leaving out food attractants to make the human food condition. And Dave Webster will be talking about that some more today. We keep in touch with BC Timber Sales, and these are the cut blocks that are done. And Don Guido will be discussing tenures and what's coming up. We have educational kiosks. This is the one that many of you, if you have a boat, have seen at Sandra Creek. And we have one at the Nature Park, and we have one at Texas Boat Launch, and we have one at the RDKB Boat Launch. So there's lots of information out there, lots of signage regarding things that we have concerns about. We have educational bulletins. Most of you have these, the wildlife one and the fisheries one. And the newest one is the aquatic bulletin, Christina Lake, Our Underwater World. And that's why we're doing some footage and doing underwater camera photography. We're trying to get a set of plant pictures ourselves, because this publication was the hardest one I ever had to do, finding aquatic plant pictures. So we're going to take pictures of all 55 limits by some time. Yeah. We do monitor species at risk. That's a rubber boa, tiger salamander, western skink, and western rattlesnake. And there are 105 plants and 100 animals at risk in the boundary. That's a lot. We did the Young Stewards of the Boundary Youth Program. Heather was the coordinator for that this year, and it was absolutely fantastic. And we did receive funding from the Phoenix Foundation, and money from Area C was used in that, and from the Grand Forks Credit Union, and it was a blast. We made animal tracks, we painted fish, cutouts, and that's just some of the courses that we taught Fantastic Fish to orienteering, picking weeds, species at risk. There was lots of things happening. How many kids did we see? Over 1,200.
Wow.
Yeah, it was awesome. Barb could be here. She's in Mexico on a long deserved vacation, so Lisa will be doing her presentation. And we call this group the Botanistas. Now we're going to the monitoring programs and field projects. Water quality monitoring has been going on with the stewardship for many, many years in partnership with the Ministry of Environment. And Mike Sokol will be talking about that with his presentation. And I would like to thank, Dave Beatty's not here, but Glenn Brewer is here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're 10 years. 10 years. So these guys have been doing a great job and they know their stuff. I'm not reading all this. This is just to remind me what to say. We have stream spawners, we have shore spawners, we've done DNA analysis. We no longer count the reds on the lake because there's no longer funding for us to hire a boat to do it in the winter time. But when we did do it, we mapped all the reds on the lake. Hopefully at some point that will come back, because that way it helps us see what development has impacted those shore spawning kokanee populations. DNA-wise, the only native fish that we actually have left in the lake are the shore spawners. The stream spawners are genetically, they're called contaminated, because that's the ones that were stocked. So the native ones and the other ones, they breed together, and so they're no longer a pure strain. And historically, there was a fishery at Christina Lake for kokanee from 1898 to 1962, and approximately from the diary notes of Ralph Wolverton and the other stuff I got out of Ministry of Environment, the basement archive, it was 42 metric tons. It's a lot of fish. Okay. Stream spawning kokanee enumerations this year for 2013, Sandra was 12,582. McCrae was 38, and Sutherland was 128. McCrae has been failing, but at least we got some fish back. And that was from that 2006 blowout up on the Trans-Canada Trail, remember that? So it is slowly coming back. Sutherland is still infilling. Sanders doing fabulous. Our underwater world, what I was just talking about, we do have a documentary that's going to be ongoing. Andy Gilmore will be talking about the Eurasian Water Milfoil Control Program. And once again, Lisa will be talking about the provincial mandate for aquatic invasive species. Okay. Now, my son designed Zeb the zebra mussel. A lot of you know Dustin. And Heather will be presenting how we did it, our first educational program that was out there in the public at Texas boat launch, and the numbers that we came up with and what she did with that. We still have the boys out there, thanks to Andy and the crew for taking them out and putting them in every year, just to keep people out of that area. You can go in, but just lift up your prop or paddle in, because it is a wetland, valuable, it has species at risk, and we are noting a lot of milfoil in there now. Continue on with the foreshore inventory and mapping project, and it is my hope that we'll get a lot more different layers on there and update that database in the near future. Jenny, I couldn't find a picture, so I grabbed it off the internet. Okay? Anyway, that's Graham in the wetland at Boothman's, and Graham's going to be talking about conserving water and protecting fish habitat, and Jenny's going to be talking about the riparian impact assessment project that she's doing and updating us on that. Our group removed a lot of docks, and that's all volunteer work, and also an RDKB partnership project. So they did 370 hours. They removed 2.5 tons to the dump, and 15 to 20 tons of firewood was cut up and offered to the public. So kudos on you guys. How many docks is that here? How many docks?
31 in that program, and then another 9 private ones this year. So.
Yeah. So 40 docks. Yeah. Okay. I won't read off all this stuff because I know Grace is going to get the hook out on me here soon. Before time minutes up. Anyway, these are all the people that support us through the provincial government, and it includes all the people that I know that work for the provincial government. So I won't quickly read through it, but it's everybody. Ministry of Environment, Flynn Rowe, they're all there. Ministry of Forest Lands and Natural Resource. I hate the acronyms, I know I shouldn't be doing that. BC Timber Sales, Interior Health, next. Federal Government of Canada, Environment Canada, DFO, Regional District of Kootenay Boundary Area C, Grace McGregor is our fabulous director. We have had First Nations sign on board to the Watershed Management Plan, which consists of Okanagan Nations Alliance, which is 8 different tribal groups in the Okanagan, and this is part of their territory as well. Here's all the non-government. It's tons. It's Boundary Invasive, it's the Stewardship Center BC, BC Lake Stewardship, Living by Water Project, which is now under Nature Canada, Phoenix Foundation, the Grand Forks Credit Union, Real Estate Foundation, TD Friends of the Environment, RBC Blue Water Project, BC Association, oh, it goes on and on. Colleges, Selkirk College, University of BC, and Portland State University. We have a lot of partnerships, a lot of support. This is all the stuff people do, and this year, $148,000 in volunteer and kind happened at my watershed. Okay. And if you have any questions, feel free to come speak to me or come down to the office. And Christine Lake is ours to enjoy and protect, and making it a lasting legacy to deserve green.
Yes.
Any questions for Brenda really quickly? Because we do have a lot of information coming, and that might answer your questions as we go along also. Go ahead, Kathy.
It's not a question, it's just a point that the Phoenix Foundation has an environment fund, so that if you're looking for ways to, and I believe Citizen Stewardship have a fund with the Phoenix Foundation, that there are ways to direct your charitable dollars in order to support the environment within the boundary.
Yeah, you're right. The Park and Rec also has something set up with Phoenix Foundation.